So I wanted to record a couple thoughts on the concept of loitering. It's kind of been on my mind in the last couple of days, just being around and seeing signs, at various businesses and stuff like that, that say no loitering and then stuff like that. And, I realized I don't even really know what exactly loitering even means. And I guess I always thought, it meant basically, hanging around or being somewhere where you're not supposed to be, or you're not there for some purpose or to conduct business of some kind. But beyond that, it seemed weird to me, how do you define loitering exactly? Like, what's the fine line between just taking your time, enjoying being outside or being somewhere talking to somebody or whatever it is you're doing? What's the fine line between that and loitering, as far as as defined by a business or by cops or whatever? And I realized that I do a lot of loitering, basically. I hang out at places. I'll just stand somewhere and just be there for 10, 15, 20, even 30 minutes, sometimes even longer than that, an hour, who knows, just taking in the surroundings and being in the moment. And that's something that I've not always been good at, kind of being in the moment. And ironically, it's easier now with my current situation. Basically living out of my car, I, have more time to really do that, to be outside and just kind of take in the surroundings, take in the moment. And, I'm not in a hurry because I'm not out to, get on the hamster wheel and work to make money for some rich asshole, bust my ass for money. That's why I don't want to pay rent right now. And because I'm not willing to take on the insane amount of work it would take to afford rent in this area, or in a lot of areas anyway. But, to me, just my personality it just seems so diametrically opposed to the culture, the prevailing culture. Because the other day I was just kind of standing around outside the library after it closed, just because, I had nothing else particular to do at that moment. And it's I'm here, the weather's nice, especially in Seattle. It's you better fucking enjoy the good weather while it lasts, while it's not fucking raining on your ass. But, it seems just standing out there, I just, watch people, observe people, and it's everyone's in a fucking hurry, even on the weekend. Everyone's in such a hurry to get from A to B to C or whatever. Everyone has something they're doing, something at hand they have to get done, and they want to get done as soon as humanly possible, and can't wait a single moment extra. Especially observing people who drive, they are the most impatient people ever. And I, vow, I don't need to really vow. I'm just not like that because of how my personality is. I don't turn into a speed demon when I'm behind the wheel. And some people, it just seems if they're going less than 40 miles an hour, they're pissed. They're I need to be fucking, gunning the engine all the time if I'm behind the wheel, they seem their attitude sometimes is you're inconveniencing them by being a pedestrian and crossing the street. They can't fucking wait for your ass to cross the street because they're in such a fucking hurry and they're already in a car. It's I just don't understand people like that. I don't understand, again, with driving, people who are just in a hurry all the time, so urgently needing to drive fast and get wherever they're going. And it's dude, does it really matter if you if it took another 2, 4, 6, 10 minutes to get where you're going, like, you're already in a car, you're at least not having to walk or take the bus, like, you can't fucking wait for some old person in a fucking wheelchair to cross the damn street. Like, I've seen cars cut off fucking people in wheelchairs. Like, what the fuck are you people in such a hurry for? Like, especially driving. Like, what good really can come out of driving faster other than, like, dying or serious injury? Like, are you just in a hurry to die? Like, and I feel like that in a broader, about society in a broader sense. Like, what are people in such a hurry to do? Like, if you're not taking in the moment, like, what are you doing? Like, and, I think that really comes down to the conditioning that's prevalent right now in our culture, mainly in service of, capitalist and statist goals, because, there is that attitude ingrained from, like, early age that if you're not, you have to work for a living, that's a value. If you're a hard worker and you go out and work and, that's what people do. If you're not fucking a paraplegic or, severely mentally retarded, you should be working, you should be out doing something, generating money, generating wealth, whatever. And if you're not doing that, then you must be some kind of, bum, crazy, lazy, what have you, if you're not out working, producing something for who knows who the fuck anymore. What is the capitalist system? But primarily it's producing for the people at the very top of the industries. They get richer and richer because they are taking, your labor value. If you're at the bottom, you don't get a say in, obviously, in how you get paid or how, the surplus value that you produce for that company gets used, and it just ends up, as profit for the owners, the people who own the capital, and they just use it to invest into more money-making shit, whereas, of course, the people at the bottom, never see that profit, as no matter how profitable a company gets, the people at the bottom never see that prosperity. They're just busy, quote unquote, working hard because it's, some kind of an inherent value according to society that you're a hard worker, even though you're busting your fucking ass, and especially in this area, you probably can't even afford to rent a decent place, yet it's all good because you're a hard worker, I guess, and that's just, that in itself is something good. And, you have to stop and think, like, who values, who sets those values and who benefits from those being seen as some kind of an intrinsic value. It's the, capitalist class and, the state, the hangers-on. If people aren't out working their asses off, generating money, then no one would have money to pay taxes. The government wouldn't have money to bomb brown children in the Middle East for no reason, to drone them to death. The capitalists wouldn't be making profit. They wouldn't be constantly in search of some new bullshit to sell people that is not necessary, while food gets tossed in the garbage and clothes get tossed in the garbage and homes and land sit empty because some rich asshole can't make, if they can't collect, $2,500 per month from that, then they'll just let it sit empty while people sleep on the fucking street outside of it because they don't give a shit. Because capitalism and, all this mindset benefits people who are, on the sociopathic side. And I truly believe that. I think to be successful in a capitalist economy, you have to have less empathy than average, and the less you have, the bit more successful you are. And that's why people like me who are on the empathic side, far to that side, are just not ever going to be successful in capitalist society, because I'm not willing to be an asshole. I'm not willing to take pleasure in beating someone, defeating someone, getting the promotion over the next person, and that person is, I just don't like that shit, and, in our society, you're not allowed to think that. You're not even allowed to exist if you have that mindset, because, like I said, if you don't go out and bust your ass, it means you're just some lazy bum. And whatever, if you don't want to go out and make profit for the capitalist class, you're just some lazy bum and you deserve to die in a ditch, or you can try to beg for scraps from the table of the people, the sociopathic, soulless pieces of shit who own everything and run the culture in this way, and try to indoctrinate all of us with those so-called values. And yeah, I've struggled with a lot of like self-doubt and guilt over like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a bum because I don't want to go bust my ass for some asshole. And I guess that makes me a piece of shit. And but lately, I've really started to really come more to terms with that and kind of like accept myself for what I am, and realize that it's, I'm not a bad person just because I don't value that shit, basically. I'm willing to go without a lot of luxuries and comforts because I'm not willing to get into the rat race and spend all my time trying to generate wealth, just to turn it into some comforts that I, especially, in a lot of areas where the cost of living is really high, that you would hardly ever, that you would hardly even take advantage of. Basically, I know so many people who rent apartments or rent rooms, and it's like they're hardly even there because they work all the goddamn time, and it's like, what is the point of that, And going towards, my earlier point of like, you're not living life. You're just on this wheel. You're not stopping and really taking in what's around you. And of course, who benefits from that as well? Also, the powers that shouldn't be, the capitalist class and the government, because obviously if you're too busy trying to be a good worker and generate money and generate wealth, then you're not thinking about how fucked up society is, how fucked up the ruling class is, and everything else. They love for you to just be so busy worrying about money, worrying about things, not being seen as some lazy bum, that you don't have time to think about how things could be made better for everyone. And I just find it really bizarre. I really don't understand the hurry people are in. Just everything is a hurry. I don't know if it's just like me being from the Midwest or whatever, but I've felt like lately people around here are just not friendly at all. They're again just so busy, so focused in on what they're doing, so busy trying to do it as fast as possible. They don't even stop to like to do anything courteous, smile, say hi. Maybe that's a Midwest thing or whatever, but where I'm from, people will take the time to like say hi, smile, or even talk for a minute. Here, people won't even look at your fucking ass. Like they won't even acknowledge your existence, because I guess, especially if you're standing still, it's like, I guess that shows that you're not a money maker. You're not turning the wheels of wage slavery. And since, in capitalism, time is money, if you're not using your time to generate money, then I guess it's an indication that you aren't making money, or that you don't value making money, or whatever it is. And that, I guess, to some people that makes you like less than, and I guess they just don't understand that either. But like I said, I've been through things in my life that show me that nothing's guaranteed. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So many people are like, I'll work now. I'll work for 30 years, and then when I retire, then I can, do that. I can spend time and relax and take things slow. But you're not guaranteed that. You're not guaranteed anything. You could be dead tomorrow, or today, or right now. And then what? I don't want to think, that my last moments were spent working, generating money for some rich pervert, or, just rushing to rush. I don't even know what the purpose is. I'd like to say, I spent my time enjoying, what I was doing, being present in the moment, and being aware of things going on, and things in the immediate surroundings, and not that I was too busy focusing on doing something, on working or getting something done, that I didn't know what the fuck was even happening around me or happening in the world or whatever. So there's, I kind of touched on, the capitalist thing a little bit, but I'm going to save my, in-depth thoughts about, why I'm now an anti-capitalist and all that. I'm going to save that for another video, or whatever, get into that more. But I was reminded of a really good essay by Oscar Wilde called "The Soul of Man Under Socialism," and he, really kind of talks about, like, the purpose of life isn't to fucking just be working and busting your ass. It should be to enjoy living. And if people weren't so controlled by certain institutions that drive them to value working and being stressed out and all that shit, maybe a lot of things could be improved. So, if you are interested in that at all, that is a pretty good essay, The Soul of Man Under Socialism. But other than that, I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts, getting in depth on the anti-capitalist, socialist stuff, for another video. But until then, I just wanted to kind of record the thoughts about, me being a time-wasting bum, loiterer, whatever you want to call me. But it's just who I am. I can't make myself be an ass buster. I just don't do it. I can't physically make myself do it, because I know it's bullshit. So that's just what it is. So until then, I guess I'll see you later, and thanks for listening if you did.